So I just want to introduce Shuba. She's interested in our committee. She's met with Lucy. She's a friend of mine and a wonderful person, and I'm really glad she's here.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
You're
My
welcome.
husband was going to join too, but he got pulled into a work meeting. So next month.
It happens. All right. So on our agenda, today's agenda, and like I said, I had a printing issue, so I'm just going to be pulling up.
We've officially opened the meeting.
I'm sorry. Yes, we are. I am really so not good at the procedural part. I don't even remember if some other member needs to officially open the meeting as of 9:31, or if I can do that.
You do that.
You,
Okay, the meeting is open, started 9:31. And I cannot find my agenda, but I remember that the start is always the minutes and the treasurer's report. Does anybody have any comments about those?
The only correction, because they're beautiful minutes, thank you, Dina, was communication. Bob and Elizabeth were going to create the one page, not Lucy and Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
So I passed on that one.
is that? We'll have to review that one too.
So it's Bob and Elizabeth? Are you sure it was you,
I
Bob?
thought, I remembered it was Bob and Catherine is what I remember.
Catherine wasn't even at the
because
meeting.
She wasn't.
No, but she, that's why she got the assignment. She missed the meeting.
Nobody told her.
I
Well,
know.
so it's
I
Bob.
didn't
For
remember either, so there was a big, and I'm not sure, we'll discuss it when we get to that point.
Okay. Yes, but the minutes reflect what we said last time, not what we decide today.
Right.
So I'm
well,
going to put down Bob and Elizabeth, because that's what I remembered. And we can change it, and the next minutes will reflect the change. How's that? Good.
Sounds great. Thank you. And the treasurer's report?
Well,
Wait, we have to take a motion to accept the minutes
well, I
as,
had, no,
Oh.
I had a question. Terry Ackerman, she's actually, isn't she like a liaison, not an observer? She's our contact with the select board. So,
That's
I
what
just copied what Catherine has been saying, so.
but I think
If it's
there should be a
wrong, it's been wrong in the
liaison.
minutes. If it's wrong, it's been wrong in the minutes for the last, I don't know how many months. But I'm happy to change it.
I'd like to see a change because she's more than an observer, so.
Okay,
We will make that change going forward.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Uh,
A motion to approve the minutes?
I move we approve the minutes.
public session minutes, yes.
wait, we have to vote on them. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Second,
I
Lucy,
second
yes?
that.
All in favor? Thank you. So the executive minutes?
They look good to me.
Also,
I'm good with that.
thank you. A motion to accept the executive minutes?
So moved.
I can't do it. I read.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, the treasurer's report. I didn't have any comments or questions.
Nope.
Okay, a motion to approve those?
So moved.
And
Second,
a second? Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Our only new business today is the handout that Bob exclusively worked on because I thought that it was Bob working on it, so I did not participate. Bob and the select board well, the select board initiated a description after following the chair breakfast that I attended. Matt Johnson thought that it was very confusing to citizens, all the multiple places in multiple ways. So he created a draft and Bob and Matt worked on it. I think it came out beautifully. It was attached to our email yesterday.
Mhm.
I think, can I share a screen? Yes. I'm going to try to share it. Oh, there's Terry. Um,
Elizabeth, if you can't pull it up, I can pull it up too.
All right, let's see. Can everyone see it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes,
Ah,
there it
is.
is.
Is it large enough for everyone? I think I can make it bigger.
Looks good.
Yeah? All right.
Perfect.
Bob, do you want to run through it or people can just take a look at it with comments? But basically, it's all of the programs on one page.
And yeah, I think the assessor's office might have had a big input with Matt Johnson, right? Because almost all of the items and the programs on here are from the assessor's office. So they all we have the last one.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good summary. I don't know if anybody has any additional comments that might improve it right now, I think Shannon is going to distribute this, at the town meeting and some various other places that she suggested, which is really helpful to get around so we see it. I'm not sure, is this at the last meeting, I'm not sure if this is what was anticipated as something available for the town, for people that are in need of some help.
Mhm.
I'll jump in and just say that I learned a lot between our last meeting and this meeting about the source of the different funds. And although at our last meeting, we talked about generating something specifically from the Hugh Cargill Trust Committee, this turns out to be, for me anyway, much more useful because it covers all of them in one place and isn't issued by only the Hugh Cargill Trust Committee. So I didn't realize until I learned with Bob through this process, he had tremendous experience, that these sources of support are from different parts of our town. So I thought this is much more useful to me for people.
And one thing about our tax relief is it's by the town donation, people from our residents in the town. Yeah, a lot of the other ones are state help, with state help too. So
Right.
So that's a little bit different from the other ones in that, our own residents are helping out other residents too. So
Is there
And
a
that-
way, I was wondering, is there a way that we can add that to this piece of paper? Because
The
people
source.
should know that, people may wonder, well, how can I help? And maybe a asterisk on the bottom that the Hugh Cargill Trust is funded by private, donations from citizens in town.
Perfect. I think that's a great idea.
Me too.
Yeah, and I don't think, so one of the things I had thought about was adding a column that says the source of the funds, but I don't think that is nearly as useful as a one-liner that explains that the Hugh Cargill Trust is from citizen donations.
And it might, you might even color in the background a little bit differently. I don't know, to have it, that it is different. And because people have wondered how they can help. So something
this
to
is
call that out.
somebody else's slide, so
Right.
we have to, if we maintain this, I'll have to get, check with Matt, or I don't know if Shannon, you can jump in suggest something as far as, I think you might have, I don't know if you helped with that originally or not, the slide.
No, I didn't. Matt did, but I can get the slide from Matt. And I can add, it sounds like we want a note at the bottom that Hugh Cargill is funded through private donations. And then it sounds like we also maybe want some different backgrounds on the sheet.
Yeah, I don't, yeah,
That-
just so that it's a little different program than the others, so.
Yeah, so I would say, so I know Mike Gibbons actually, he was the one that helped from the assessor's office, which is great because he, of course, is familiar with the Hugh Cargill tax relief as well. And I think he kind of has it split right now with the top half being the state programs and then the bottom half being just the unique programs to Concord. But I see Terry also has her hand up right now if she wants to chime in.
Terry?
Yes, thank you, everybody, for working on this. Great minds think alike. So Matt was already working on this, and so were you guys, and so is Carrie's office. So this is a joint effort, and I think it looks terrific. I think we could certainly add that footnote, and I think it's called a hyperlink on the last column on the right where it says apply.
Yeah.
So I think at the footnote, you could hyperlink the word donate. And then people could donate to Hugh Cargill right by clicking that.
So we're
Not
not
yet.
there yet.
Excuse me.
Okay, but they could click on it to learn more information about donating. Right?
Yes, well, we can only accept donations through checks right now. I've already spoken with Gail Dowd about us trying
Yeah,
to
okay.
make online donations happen for the future, but it's just a bit more complicated than
Right.
it. Yeah.
Right, I understand that, but it could be a hyperlink that said, if you wish
Learn more.
to donate, please send your check, and give the instructions, please.
I think we could put it in the if there's a footnote, look, with like an asterisk to say private funds, and then you could put it in there, like a link there.
Yeah, link, because
Yeah. When it says, well, if you had an asterisk, I don't want to like have a committee, review the whole thing, but a suggestion maybe is to put like an asterisk and say, these are by private funds for Hugh Cargill relief. And then you can put in what you're saying, Terry, right in that footnote, that
Exactly.
if you wish to donate, have some kind of a link there.
right, because there isn't enough room to say, if you wish to donate, send your check, to the town office, but it could have a link explaining where to send.
Yeah, so it'll just be a link to the Hugh Cargill's webpage, essentially.
Yeah, okay.
And is the phone number for the donation the same as the phone number for the application?
Well, they come through, a lot of them come through the number that's cited there.
So we could just, that could be part of that note, is to call this number or check the webpage. Bob, do you want to just work with Shannon on one line, and then Shannon can
Yeah,
ask Mike
we'll
to
do
update it?
that. Right,
Yeah,
I will talk with Shannon.
We
if
hope
we have
that
some,
people-
go ahead,
sorry.
Lucy.
we hope that people would be curious enough to click the hyperlink to find out how to contribute. A lot of people wouldn't even think of clicking the hyper, so we might miss out. So
Well, and
Anyway,
remember, well,
make-
remember though, the link is only available if someone sees this chart online. If they pick it up
Right.
at town meeting, they're going to call the phone number. That's why we have to have some other way, like the phone number.
I mean, I
Um,
think instead of on the handout, putting a hyperlink, it should just be visit www.concordma.gov/Hugh Cargill, whatever your a shortened web page address for the committee's webpage is, because right, the hyperlink is only going to work if you're viewing this online rather than just picking it up at town meeting.
right.
Well,
Right.
I'm so pleased. I was so excited when I saw the very first pass that Matt Johnson made at this idea, because it's always been confusing to me and I'm on the committee. So,
All right.
all right. So Bob, you'll follow up with Shannon? and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if I can. Okay. So we aren't going to vote on it since we're going to make some changes to it. However, town meeting is very shortly after our next meeting. So I wonder if what we could do is just authorize or somehow let Bob and Shannon work this out to finish it without having it come back to us again. Yes?
I think that's a good idea.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. That is all of our new business. Our continuing business is that we do have an opening as of April, because Dina, very unfortunately, is not continuing with us. I just wanted to acknowledge how much you've contributed, certainly to my education, but also to all of our meetings.
Yeah.
And
Dina's
right,
amazing.
yeah,
She's done a beautiful job.
Yeah, yeah.
especially with the
I
treasurer's
don't know
report.
why I don't know why she's leaving. I can't understand that.
She'll probably sit in on our meetings because she'll miss us so much.
Ah,
Right.
I think that may happen if I'm in town.
Right. Well, thank you very, very much. We have a couple of citizens who are interested in the position. Shuba is here today. Thank you for being here. And Shuba's husband Sridhar has also expressed an interest, although he was pulled away to a business meeting. And then we have another candidate who visited us a couple meetings ago. And so the committee will chat in our executive session around filling that open position. And then obviously other boards are always looking for terrific, interested citizens. So there will definitely be room for Shuba and for Hester to participate in town committees somehow. I wonder, don't remember. Excuse me.
Terry?
Elizabeth,
Yes. Hi,
fortunately,
Terry.
unfortunately, you cannot talk about that in executive session.
Oh,
What you
okay.
can do is you could have two people committee decide, offline how you're going to choose the person, but you have to talk about it in open session. It's not one of the it's unfortunate, but it's not one of the qualifications for executive session.
Thank you, Terry. I made an
Well, the other
assumption.
candidate is actually been overseas and she's coming back tomorrow. So otherwise she would have been here for sure, but she could not be in the meeting. So, and Catherine and I did meet with Shuba last week or the week before, and we wanted to give equal time and energy and explanation to Hester. So we would have, both people would have had all the material and all the conversation and questions. And so that's why we can't do it today.
Let me
Okay.
I
So
do,
say
I
that-
do want to remind everybody that it's the treasurer's position that will be vacant, and a knowledge of Excel would be very useful.
Right.
For whoever took
Mhm.
this position.
And let me just add that it's very exciting to have 2 or 3 candidates who are interested, and we have room for everybody. Whoever doesn't get on this time can come on the next time. And there are 60+ committees. So if you don't want to wait, you can apply for another committee. So don't worry, whoever doesn't get on.
I'm due to come,
somehow.
I'm supposed to come off next year after the town meeting next year.
Mhm.
Yeah, at each of
It
the
would
chair
be-
breakfasts. Sorry, Bob, I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what you said.
I was just mentioning that each of the chair breakfast every month that I attend, all the chairs of the committees do speak about openings on their boards and particular resources they're looking for. And there, like Terry said, there's always room someplace for someone who's interested in serving. So I apologize. I didn't realize that that wasn't something for executive session. And I think if it's, if everybody in the committee feels comfortable, after Lucy and Catherine meet with Hester, they could report back to us with their recommendation.
I have a question, Dina.
Yeah,
Will you be leaving the world, or can the person who takes your spot have some training with you?
absolutely training, but I will be leaving the country for
When?
mostly all of May and part of June. So I'd really like to get somebody kind of understanding how to do this before I leave the country, because as much as I love Hugh Cargill, I won't be attending or giving sessions from the various parts of the world where I will be visiting.
Yeah. So when exactly do you leave in, just so we know?
May 5th.
Okay, good. So April. Okay, great. Thank you.
And that timing should work fine because we will have appointed a new person just before you leave. So where are you going?
Rome, Malta, Sardinia, Sicily, the coast of Spain, and Portugal. And then I return briefly to change my clothes, wash my clothes and pack new, and then Tuscany for a couple weeks.
Great.
That's fantastic. Enjoy.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah. Okay. So next is an update from Bob on tax relief.
Hey, we have 3 new applicants, and they're all seniors. So we can discuss individually in an executive session. So that would bring the total up, if we all 3, it'd be like 58 applicants.
So I did a quick research. There wasn't anything of interest to pass along to the committee. I'm curious though to talk about the slow increase per month in the number of applications. Last month it was 5. This month it's 3. Typically, it's a lot less than that. And so
Yeah,
I
it's
do have-
probably from the beginning of the year, we've added about maybe 8 or 9. Traditionally, it was around 48 to 50 applicants. I can see it going up, especially with this handout. I think.
yes, exactly.
I think
Yeah. Okay. In terms of communications, I put that on our agenda each month, but I think this month there isn't anything new. Basically, it's the handout that we talked about.
Mhm.
one other thing, excuse me, on the website, we'll have to work on the website, Shannon, with letter, which would be a little different than the procedure is. We've had this list that we make up. So like in April, we will send out the people on the list with our new letter that we went out, that we just went through and approved. And it would, with the new valuation, the home valuations and income requirements. And then we'll have to make another one up that'll be on the website, which would be after we do the mailings for these, the people on the list now. So anybody on the list will get this new letter. And then after July 1st, this other one kicks in with the new valuations, with the new requirements.
And that
So,
happens every year in July, correct?
Yes,
The new
yeah,
letter.
July, yeah.
so I wanted to tell the committee that Wilson Kerr, who is a resident of West Concord and writes most weeks for the Bridge, got in touch with me and said, I would like to redo your website for free. And I said, well, thank you. That's what I said, but I'm not sure what we would do about that, but I just letting the committee know that he's mentioned it several times that and I don't know if he was looking for my vote on the last election we had for the middle school or what, but it might have had something to do with it, but he seemed, more than willing to. He said it won't cost the committee anything. So I'm just putting it out there.
But the town is the one that has, like set it up. So I think if he had some ideas, it might be nice, to see what he was thinking of.
Well, I didn't want to encourage him because I wasn't sure. I mean, I thought I did read somehow that the town is going to be completely redoing the concordma.gov website at some point. And so that's a bigger project for sure.
Shannon, I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that, or? I guess
I'm sorry, what is the question?
why don't you repeat that, Lucy, with the.
Okay, Shannon, Wilson Kerr, who lives in West Concord and is kind of a very active person in town and writes for the Bridge most weeks, offered to me several times. He emailed me and he said he would like to redo the Hugh Cargill Trust website and he would do it for nothing. And I said, thank you very much. That's a very generous offer and I will just make the committee aware of it. And so that's all I'm doing is making the committee aware of it. I'm not sure we're ready to transform our website, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't really think we would necessarily be able to give him access because it's like a town website where it's just employees that have the ability to edit it. And it's like, I don't even have the ability to edit pages that are out of my realm and stuff. So I don't think we'd really be able to just hand that over to him. But if he would want to discuss the changes to it that he had in mind that he thought would make the page more user friendly and stuff, I would be happy to hear those and edit it how I can with my website powers.
Okay.
That's a good idea. I think get some recommendations from him as to what he would do for the website. And
Yeah, and then I can edit it as much as I can with how the committee likes and his recommendations.
Well, considering the increased attention to what we do and some of the issues in town, maybe this is an agenda item for next month where we each take a look at the website and think about the additional applications that we've been receiving and the new handout, for example, and just we can chat as a committee ways that we think our website might be more accessible to everyone. And then we can together bring some ideas to Shannon.
well, I guess the first thing would be maybe Lucy have him make some suggestions is what he would recommend. Yeah. But are you still uncomfortable going back to him though? You seem.
Not at all. In fact,
Okay.
I've known him his whole life, so, and I know his parents very well. And I think
Okay,
he just was very excited to see that we lived in the same town now, and, he's a much younger person, and he was just trying to be generous and to win my vote in the last election. I think that's what he was doing. So,
I will put it on our agenda for next month. And then if you all just sort of look at our website and if there's anything that you feel could be improved, we can bring it up next month.
well,
Good.
I was wondering if you could have them send you the suggestions, Lucy, then you could forward it to us.
I will do that.
And then we'll include that in, like, review our website plus what he's saying as well.
Good. I'll do that.
Thank you. And then we can save you, Shannon, from anything until we have a very specific requests.
Sure,
any.
sounds good. Something that, and I don't know if this is just because it's the way it's always been done, but something that definitely confused me off the bat when I started working with you guys is that there's a tax relief committee, but the tax relief is administered by the Hugh Cargill Trust. And I feel like that's something that if I think could be clarified on the website better, that's something that comes to mind for me, but I know that confused me when I first started. And, the Hugh Cargill and tax relief committees are so unique to Concord and they're great, but I was definitely confused by that when I started.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
the
that
tax,
same- yeah, for me also. And only in the last month did I understand that the Hugh Cargill was assigned that, as well as other funds that we administer,
Right.
because we're sort of we're the administering group of funds to support citizens, and anything that comes up in town meeting somehow ends up on our, in our sort of realm of managing it.
give it to Hugh Cargill.
It's
Well,
not a bad thing, but it's confusing for people, so.
Well, it is interesting because some new people will have a conversation and they'll want to know, they don't say to me all the ways I can get help, but I make them aware of all the ways that they can apply for help if it's appropriate. So, it's sort of a starting point for people, and that is useful for a lot of our applicants.
Shannon, was that something you wanted to, you think would be good to pursue, or?
Yeah, I do think it would be, as long as also, of course, you guys are in agreement. I don't want to make any changes to your website that that the committee isn't behind as well. So I think, yeah, it would be good. We could get Wilson's recommendations hopefully for the next meeting, and then maybe I can go through the website and put together a list of any recommendations that come up to me, and we can discuss it at the next meeting.
Okay,
Good.
that sound good?
Yeah, I think that would be very useful. It'd be easier for people who have, like Lucy was mentioning, they don't really know, or they come to the town and we're sort of this point committee.
We are.
And it'd be nice to be able to be clear what we administer and maybe even why it ended up that way and the resources available besides us. Well, that is, excuse me, that is all we have on our agenda today. So if I could have a motion to adjourn?
Was there anything on the communications update?
Nope.
No,
I'm sorry.
nobody updated, no new contacts, anything to fill out that form. Does anybody
I think we
remember the
did that
form?
last time. Yeah, but I think we did that last time.
Okay. Well, it's an ongoing thing, so we want to try to fill, like, if the contacts you make, on that sheet. I think that was the idea of that, to see who you contact, who you speak to, like, and when you're going off the committee, then you'll be able to, somebody else can follow up with it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, because of my technology struggles. I can't pull up that spreadsheet right now. I'm looking
Could you
for it.
send- When you find it, Bob or Elizabeth, could you forward it to all of us again? Because I don't know where it is on my,
Okay,
can't find it.
all right, yeah. I'm just doing that just to keep aware, make people aware that we should try to get these contacts established. I'm
You know what?
guilty as anybody else, so,
no, everybody,
if-
to all of us on the committee.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you could send that around, Bob, and then going forward, I can add it plus our calendar to those
Mhm.
emails that I send out the day before our meetings. So we all have it in front of us. That'd be great.
okay. All right,
Okay,
Dina?
I'm willing to make the motion at 10:07 to adjourn the meeting to executive session for the purpose of discussing individuals or families seeking assistance, the disclosure of which would be a violation of privacy.
I have one point just before we go, before we close out. Elizabeth, when you send that out, the notice of the meeting, it only goes to the committee and Shannon, correct? Nobody else?
It
Because,
actually only goes to the committee. I mean, I can include
Good.
Shannon if you'd like.
Well,
Shannon.
well, because, the confidentiality, no, I don't think you should. It's the confidential report of past awards is on there. So we should be careful that we don't let anybody else except the committee members have access to that report.
Yeah, no, it only goes to the committee.
Okay.
I started doing it when I became chair because before the meetings, I would be trying to pull up all the different documents, and so I wanted them all in one email. But I've been thinking about that, Lucy, actually, because yours doesn't go in my email, usually because I haven't received it yet, but really, the risk of it being,
Yeah.
and so I'm wondering if those past awards, maybe the treasurer's sending it to the committee is enough, and I don't put it in my summary email.
I don't think it should. I think Lucy should distribute it herself.
I
you know,
do
like
it.
before-
Dina does that.
It's my report.
No, I'm talking about the intake.
Yeah,
We're talking about the summary of past awards.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
if-
yeah.
so I
I
haven't
think
think
that's
about
right,
this.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna change the summary email I send out to just be our agenda, the minutes, and leave the treasurer's report, summary of past awards, and the request for applicants to you, Lucy, and you, Dina.
Okay, good.
That way my summary email and it's true, it feels like here's plenty of information in preparation, but really it would be terrible if it accidentally ended up going to someone that it's not supposed to. We need to protect that confidentiality of all
Right.
of our recipients. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Suba, for sitting in.
Yes, and so we have a
Thank you for
motion.
We
Yeah.
haven't seconded the motion, but I
We have not.
second it.
All right, I'll drop off. Thank you for having me.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye. All right, see you in executive session in a few minutes.
Thank you, Terry.